Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas with you on a beautiful day. Welcome back to the library. I am beyond excited. Today, we're going to be talking about The Great Gatsby. Oh my God. I'm not even exaggerating. This book will change your life. If you'll give me, I won't go over probably 7-8 minutes. If you'll listen to this all the way through, I can guarantee you it will change your life. There's a reason. I always ask people, what's your favorite book? This is always at the top of the list. You look at all the many famous and successful people, a lot of them, this is their all-time favorite book. Why? Because it changed their life. And I'm going to show you how it can change your life. So real quick though, I got to build this up. It's an experience. The book itself is poetry. You'll see how Scott Fitzgerald, he was influenced by Milton, Byron, Shelley, and especially Keats. You can see Keats all throughout this writing. This little tiny book, it's poetry, my friends. And when he set out to write it, that's what he set out to do, to create a masterpiece. But there's a whole experience to this. There's the book and the poetry that you have to have so you can underline and just savor the words. But the movie, I like the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. It tells a story better than the book. It's a must watch. And then the soundtrack. My friend, like the song by Florence and the Machine, Over the Love, if you don't get goosebumps through your whole body, you're dead. And then just the jazz, it captures that 1920s. And I was born in the 80s, which was, I think, the greatest decade. But I always thought, too, the 20s, it just had something special about it. And he captures it in this book. You'll fall in love with it. And, we talk about this all the time. I love books that are poetry and have that beautiful prose. This is it. Another thing we talked about, matter of fact, just yesterday, Anna Karenina, Einstein's favorite book, remember? What was that magic that he puts into it? How's there so much heart? What's the magic? It's when the author puts himself in the character. And so, like Tolstoy was Levin. And that's why you feel it. He's bled it. He's sweated it. It was him, and you feel it. But he's not telling someone else's story. And the same thing with Scott Fitzgerald. He is Gatsby. The same story. That's why you feel it. Scott Fitzgerald grew up poor. And he was shunned by his, what ended up becoming his wife, Zelda, but she wouldn't marry him because he was poor. Sure, she loved him, but, poor boys don't marry rich girls. And so he set out in his mind, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to get the girl. And he did it, just like Gatsby. And the way their lives matched up, even in the end, which we'll get to, it's frightening, right? It's almost like he is writing prophecy. Real quick before I move it, there's so much here, guys. I'm going to try to stay in that time limit so I don't lose you. You need to hear this, but I got to show you the poetry because that's what I love. So listen to this. See if you can hear this. So here's Keats' Ode to a Nightingale. He says, but there is no light save from what heaven is with breezes blown. Here's Fitzgerald. There was no light save what the gleaming floor bounced in from the hall. You can see how he draws from all of his favorite poets, and the whole book is written like that. It's small, but not one line, not one word is wasted. I got to talk to you because I want you to look for this as you're reading. Look for his use of time. It's all throughout the book. There's a scene where there's a clock on the mantle and he knocks it over and it's falling forward, but he grabs it and puts it back. And it's exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to turn back time. So real quick, let me catch you up. So Gatsby, he falls in love with Daisy, just like Fitzgerald and Zelda. But she rejects him because he's poor. So he goes out to make his fortune. But in the meantime, she marries another rich man. And when he comes back, she's married. And so now he's trying to get her back. He wants to turn back time to when they were in love. And now he has the means to have her. And it becomes his quest, his life, his everything. I want you to look for color throughout here. He uses color in such a beautiful way in everything he describes, but there's meaning in it, in the clothes that each person wears, in the different colors of the rooms of the house, of the different colors of the cars and what it represents. My friends, and then the most powerful is the green light. The green light. So he buys a mansion across the bay from Daisy's house. And out on her dock is a green light. And to some people, they would just see it as a navigational beacon. But to Gatsby, he sees it as Daisy. He sees it as money, right? Green money. He sees it as hope, like green sprouts of what could be. My friends, oh my God, I got chills just talking about it. And so what it comes down to, there's so much to the story. I don't want to give too much away. I want you to go into it and read it. But I want to get to the life-changing part. One, I think what it shows, not just in the story, but in Fitzgerald's life himself, if you really want something, you can go after it and get it, my friends. But it takes a strong motivator. And so Daisy was his. That was his muse. That's what kept him going day after day when you don't want to get up and move. My friends, he had a strong motivator. And what's funny when it comes to the end, yes, you can get anything, but is it worth it? And here's what he found out. You can have a big, giant house, a mansion, but it's not a home. You can have that beautiful girl, but there's no love. Was it worth it? You know, and the narrator of the story, if only Gatsby and Fitzgerald himself would have just followed in the shoes of Nick Carraway. He came from the Midwest, and he had those big dreams of the East and fame and fortune and riches and that lifestyle. But when he got there, he saw it was empty. It was fake. It was soulless. And he ran back. My friends, if Gatsby just would have done that. If Fitzgerald just would have done that. Fitzgerald drunk himself to death at the age of 44 because they found it was empty. It was hollow. It was fake. His wife didn't really love him. She just loved the money. Their home, you know, he would look into other people's homes and see family and caring and loving. And there was substance there. And he wanted that. But it was just out of his reach because he had become just as hollow as the life he had built. And how sad he couldn't see hope anymore. If he would have just followed back home, back to the Midwest, followed Nick Carraway. And my friends, another thing that stuck out in my mind, you'll even see on the soundtrack, see the eyes there? So that was a billboard. And I think it means different things to different people. But if I remember right, at one time, I can't remember who, they were driving by it, and they just mentioned something along the lines of, God sees all. Now, I'm trying to think. This was Dr. T.J. Eckelberg. It was just a sign for his office. But someone was seeing it like the eyes of God sees everything. And it kind of questioned something that I think all of us have deep down. It is about morals. And our decisions. Is there more meaning to it? You know, it's just, I could probably just meditate and dwell on that. And I think that's what this book asks us to do. Who do you want to be? You can be anything. You can do anything. You can fake it till you make it. My friends, you can change your look, change your clothes. You can start hanging around different people. You can go back to school. You can apprentice under people. If you really want it, you have that drive and that I will not quit, you can have it. But is it worth it? And who will it make you? And you know what? I know rich, successful people that also have morals, right? They held on to that core belief and that heart and what's really important. My friends, and that's what I got from this book. What's really important. Things are nice, but if you don't have the love, if you don't have the truth, if you don't hold on to some form of morals and guidance, my friends, that home, that light that is inside of you. Here it talks about that green light outside, but there's a light inside of you. My friends, don't let that dark world ever dim that. And I think you'll be okay, my friends. Oh, this book is beautiful. Pick it up. Make sure you watch the movie. Matter of fact, right now, go on YouTube and look up Florence and the Machine. It's called Over the Love. And see if you don't just get goosebumps all over your body. It's so beautiful. And then it's got that jazz music, and it just captures the 20s, 1920s. It's beautiful. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this, please let me know. Go to the comments and know I love you.